Welcome to Fast Effect Double Speed Magic the Gathering. Here we're jumping in the middle of the game here. Well, beginning. We've got a Thoughtseize has been fired off. Grixis Phoenix battling against Blue-Black Storm. We see some Buried Alives, which are going to combo here with a Dark Ritual to get some Arclight Phoenixes, but needing to pass the turn. Boy, I can't make out that card to the left. It looks like a Hydroblast. That can't be right. Maybe it's a Daze? New printing of Daze, perhaps? All right, we got a Ponder. And it is no good. I'm going to throw it back. Try and do better. These Phoenixes are in the graveyard, but not a lot of cards to work with for Brian. He's going to need to play 3 spells prior. I mean, Dark Ritual, Buried Alive. Generally, you want that one more, and you'll be good to go. Instead, just kind of a scary-looking graveyard may not actually end up impacting this game. Preordain for John. And starting out with a Brainstorm. That could certainly lead to good things. Brainstorm plus Fetch, best combo in the game. And now Volcanic Island for a Faithless Looting. This deck would probably really like playing Gush. Yeah, another free spell would certainly be welcome. Just playing 2 spells and then stopping. Not really where you want to be. Another Faithless Looting in the bin, which can be flashed back. Or, that Faithless Looting can be flashed back. That gets the ball rolling. This will cycle cards in hand. Not going to net any cards, but yeah, that is Daze. And Brainstorm. Got a reasonable shot here. Land plus a 1-mana spell. Nope. Alright, so that was a pass turn. So 3 turns in a row playing 2 spells, and now John is about ready to play a bunch of spells. He's gone Lotus Petal and Dark Ritual. He can pay the 1 on this Daze, so this could end up just adding to the Storm count, or it could really muddle John's math. He pays the 1. Dark Ritual does resolve. This looks like this might be a bit of a train wreck game. Neither deck really doing what it's designed to do. Lotus Petal goes to the bin. Cabal Ritual. Okay, I mean, that's 6 mana plus presumably a blue. 9 mana. Wow. Peer into the Abyss. Yeah, if that's resolving. I mean, John should be fine here. I believe he's got 2 black mana plus the blue. He's going to lose half of his life, which is totally fine, given he's drawing half of his deck. And it should be pretty straightforward from here. To just play a whole bunch of rituals and tendrils. They're just probably the hardest part now is making sure you got the storm count correct. Presumably there'll be discard spells that can be fired off as well at the low cost of 1 mana. Maybe even some free cards. Certainly once Modern Horizons 2 comes out, we'll have more access to some free spells. The Lightning Bolt taken with a Duress. We might be able to learn a little bit more about John's build here. He probably can just cast like a Tendril, so that's probably not great. Needing to play a Brainstorm after drawing half your deck is a bit questionable. And there is the Tendrils. Just the extra Storm is fine. Very often, once you've drawn a lot of cards, you're not actually looking to spend any mana on something like card drawing unless you just actually need the Storm count. More often than not, that's going to be used on discard spells because at least that gives you some more information of what your opponent could be playing. But I suppose if you've already seen their hand at that point, you're not actually going to be getting any new information, so it is fine. At a certain point, you're going to win as long as you don't, throw your cards in the trash. You've got the Storm count, you've got the mana. Even if you somehow fumbled, you still have half of your deck in your hand. So John picking that first one up, really, I don't know. I don't know what to say. Phoenix has been jabbed at many times when it's been on the channel. We often get people poking fun of the deck when it is on camera. I believe I've seen people claim it's never won on camera. I don't know if that's true. I do know that we've had some train wreck games, but I feel like it must have won at some point. If you're playing on camera, it's because you're undefeated at that point, unless it's the first round, then it's random. But for the rest of the tournament, it's because it's undefeated, so it's definitely winning some stuff, even if it's not on camera. But that last game would not have been really close at all if Brian was able to just chain together 3 spells. There we go, like this. Dark Ritual, Cabal, Therapy, protecting what is likely to be a Buried Alive, though he realistically shouldn't have to worry about anything except perhaps a Mindbreak Trap, presumably what he named. And here's our 3 Phoenixes doing exactly what they're designed to do. Show up, smash face, go home early. Now John is left with just 11 points of life. He could be very dead without too much effort. Just, fetching and thought seizing or something. I mean, you can't even afford to do that because you're dead on the crackback. Note Brian was able to sacrifice one of those Arclight Phoenixes to Cabal Therapy to get additional discard, hurting John's hand even more. So Brian squaring up here, getting ready for game number 3. Phoenix showing exactly what Phoenix is meant to do and hoping that Storm will not now demonstrate what Storm is meant to do. A few decks can create quite a ridiculous avalanche of card advantage and just degeneracy as a finely tuned, I guess, well running, like it's not so much tuning as sometimes it comes together. You have the same list. Sometimes it plays absolutely beautifully, other times it just doesn't quite come together. But Storm can certainly convert that massive card advantage from things like Peer into the Abyss into just a crazy amount of mana and card drawing, card selection, and just funnel that back into actually winning the game. If an aggro deck drew half of its deck, it's not actually going to do anything different. If Burn started the game with 30 cards in hand, I mean, they're just going to have to go to discard anyways. Combo decks, like these, absolutely can leverage that, playing potentially the whole hand. Cabal Ritual, one of my favorite Magic cards. Just gives you so many ways to play around difficult situations. It's just so much power. At 2 mana, getting 5. We see Seething Song seeing play now in Ruby Storm, a deck that'll probably start showing up on camera a bunch. And at 3 mana, it's still a legacy playable card. So Cabal Ritual at 2 mana getting 5. It's a thing of beauty. Brainstorm for Brian. Lotus Petal. Get the fetch land to go along with the Brainstorm, a full grip. It was a pretty long pause. Sorry for that. Brian fetching. Volcanic Island with a nice altar on it. And perhaps having a little bit more discipline here, looking to make sure that those Phoenixes come back guaranteed. That really is what it's all about, just getting them into the bin, not enough. And a Dark Ritual here, prompting Brian to fetch. Let's see what he does with this. Hard casting Daze. And now another Daze. John has a fetch land open that he could sack to go get a land. Now, if Brian has Stifle, that would be a pretty brutal line, shutting down the Dark Ritual and forcing the situation where John's mana base is depleted. Oh, interesting. Actually, letting the Dark Ritual go, apparently there was no follow-up after that double taxing effect of Daze. That's the way it works sometimes. Sometimes, even if you could pay the one, you wouldn't be able to do the things that the Dark Ritual was going to enable. For example, tutoring for Past in Flames in some decks, or your Storm spell, or, in this deck, getting something like a Peer into the Abyss resolved. Now, Cabal Therapy sees, wow, double Pact of Negation. That is a dangerous magic card. When your opponent is going for the throat, very few things defend them better than Pact of Negation. Certainly not more efficiently. Blood Moon, probably not going to be much of a concern. At this stage of the game, Storm, not really worried about it. I mean, they're probably not casting Peer into the Abyss without the Dark Ritual or Cabal Rituals anyways, which will give plenty of black mana. Only 4 land in play. He's trying to get to, I believe, Peer is 7 mana. Basically the same as casting and activating a Goblin Charbelcher, both in the mana cost and the effect for the most part. Dark Ritual starting out. That would go to 6 available mana. There's a Cabal Ritual. And is that just 1 extra mana? That might be. It looks like that would only be 1 extra mana for 7. And that one will be with Threshold. So 10 mana. And now Peer. And we know that the double Pact of Negation is there. What can Brian do about this? Not gonna flinch here. If only Brian could have cast a creature, any creature that he could sack to Cabal Therapy would have been very welcome. Mox imprinting a Dark Confidant, which is a bold choice for a deck running 9 casting cost black spells. Reb taken with a Duress. And boy, that looked like a one that lets you sack your swamps for black mana. Not Culling the Weak. Not Bubbling Muck. Might be Bubbling Muck. But all of his lands being sacked now for more black mana. We got a Thoughtseize, and finally the Tendrils of Agony as John takes that one down. Can't believe I can't remember the name of it. I literally play the card. But yeah, sacking all of his lands for that extra mana boost and getting there with a very spicy black-blue Storm build. That is all for this one, but don't worry, there is a lot more. You can check out our older videos, and we're always putting out new videos from ELD's Time Vault Games in Bellingham, Massachusetts. If you want to help the channel, of course, you can like, subscribe, share, tap that notification bell so you can know the next time our new videos come out. Thanks for watching.